Dearly beloved, we are gathered here today to get through this thing called life. Electric word, life, and that's a mighty long time. But I'm here to tell you that there is something else. It's 5:10, and I'm walking into my yoga class. My mom calls, and I know it's bad news before I pick up the phone. But it's too late. My dad's already dead. And it was sudden. Like it only took a second for him to collapse in the upstairs hallway of the house that he grew up in and then I grew up in, but there was no pain or suffering, no long drawn-out hospital stays, just the way he would have wanted to have gone. But it really sucked for us. I couldn't leave Boulder fast enough that night. But when I landed in Boston, I didn't want to even get off the plane. And I really didn't want to drive north 4 hours to Maine and walk through the doorway of my childhood home and see him lying on the couch, obviously very still, because my mom didn't let the paramedics take him away until I got back. I've gone through a lot of hard things in my life, and this was absolutely the worst. So over the next year, I went home about a week a month, and I got used to having 2 homes and 2 cars and 2 favorite coffee shops and 2 groups of friends that didn't even know each other. But it was exhausting, all that unpacking and moving. And ironically, going to both places so often made me feel like a stranger in each of them. I learned a lot of lessons. My dad taught me a lot. He was 74 when he took his last breath. When he was 42, I was only 8. And now that I'm 42, it literally feels like I can see the rest of my life right before me. Feels a lot like going on an extremely long hike on a very tall mountain. And you never see the top of it. Till one day, you're walking along, and you go around a corner, and bam, there it is, like through the clouds at the top, so far away. But at the same time, it just felt way too close. Can anybody guess what this is called? No guesses? Midlife crisis. Giddy up, it's now or never. So I took something that a lot of people think of as bad, and I kind of turned it around into something I liked. The Greek word for this is krisis with a K, and it literally means the turning point in a disease. I'm not saying that my life was diseased, but it definitely wasn't everything I wanted it to be. So I took my life and I turned it into something a lot more tasty. I looked at it as an opportunity to become a better person. And no, I didn't go buy a sports car, but I did get a boat, and honestly, it's pretty cool. And then I let go of my Disney-like ideal of romance and relationship, so I got a lot less sleep, because what is being tired other than an excuse to not live an amazing life? And I dated, like, a lot more. And I loved deeper, and I spoke so much sweeter, and I stopped worrying if every girl I was dating was like the one girl I was gonna spend the rest of my life with. Then I started traveling and going to faraway places over weekends, like Norway, Amsterdam, Moab, Belgium, France, Luxembourg, Germany, Guatemala, and Maine. I'd only spend 3 or 4 days in these places, but it was plenty to have an awesome time. And it wasn't enough to make it feel like normal and lose that childhood glee of looking what's around the next corner and exploring the planet. So a few months ago, I was coming back from one such trip from Costa Rica and flying along, looking out the airplane window, and I see this beautiful island and this huge lake with these 2 massive volcanoes sticking out of it like beautiful breasts. And I was like, oh my God, I have to go there, and I've got to go there soon. So I go back 6 weeks later with a couple of friends, and we hiked the big volcano. And we ate sketchy food, we met cool people, we rode motorcycles all over the place, all over a weekend. Hashtag just what the doctor ordered. So my dad's hero was Hunter S. Thompson, and he once said, life should not be a journey to the grave with the intention of arriving safely in a well-preserved body, but rather to skid in sideways in a cloud of smoke, thoroughly used up, totally worn out, and loudly proclaiming, wow, what a ride. And we're all sitting here right now, and we're all going to the same place, just different speeds. And I don't want to get along through this life only to slip under the finish line a few miles before, unnoticed. My dad didn't. He's dead, but he's still teaching me stuff to this day, right here, right now. And that midlife crisis, thanks, Dad, it's not so bad.